There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about nursing versus accounting. Now, if you know any of my previous videos about nursing or accounting, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I think those are the two best college degrees to go to school for to get to the money. Okay. Now, and I just mean for a shorter direction to get into money. Now, yes, you can go to school for becoming a lab tech and all sorts of things. A plumber, or electrician. You can go to school and do all of those things and make great money. Okay, you can do some trades and you never have to go get a degree. So when I'm talking about this, I mean to go get a degree for something. I think based off of the entry versus and the entry into the career field and the ceiling, the money you can make or whatever, I think those two career fields, what you can take anywhere with you, you can go anywhere and do it. I think those two career fields are the best in my opinion. Now, I don't know every occupation that's out there, but I am an accountant. In case you don't know, I know a lot of nurses, I know a lot of accountants, I know a lot of IT people, I know a lot of professionals, you can say, doctors, lawyers, I know a lot of professionals. And so when asked the question, what should I go to school for? I always tell people nursing or accounting would be my first two that I would tell somebody to go to school for. And I'm going to read you. The reason why I'm even doing this video is based off of a comment that was left on my Why Accounting and Nursing Are Best College Majors video. You can go check that video out. You can search Casino is the Name, Why Accounting and Nursing, or just nursing in my name. And so you probably can find the videos where I talk about this situation. But here, someone says, Lazarus Stirs says, one advantage of accounting over nursing is that one can become an accountant with just a 4-year degree, no graduate degree, and not having to pass any kind of certification exam. To be a nurse, you have to become licensed. You have to pass the NCLEX exam. Similarly, to be a lawyer, you have to pass the bar. In accounting, you just have to have your 4-year degree, and you can become an accountant. And you don't need a CPA. You don't need a graduate degree, and you don't need to pass any sort of licensing exam. Now, that is very true. Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video is because this requires more than just a blanket statement to just say this field is better than this field, because I do believe that those two are very good, and it's going to just depend. Okay. Now, what he says about, and shout out to Lazarus Stirs. So what Lazarus says about just needing a 4-year degree is true. It's true. You don't need a CPA. You don't need any license to be considered an accountant. You're an accountant. If you have your bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, economics, with the right amount of credit hours in accounting or business law or finance or economics or whatever the combination is to suffice for being considered an accountant. All right. Now, it's still a 4-year degree. And I want to remind people that one of the reasons why I like nursing is because it does not have to be a 4-year degree. You can become a registered nurse and take NCLEX with just an associate's. At least at this current day and time, you only need an associate's degree in nursing to sit for NCLEX. Okay? So Now, I think you may have about a year of prerequisites, but that would bring you to about 3 years of college before you can sit for NCLEX. But that whole year that you would have still been in school for accounting, maybe you're studying for the license or whatever, but you could have taken that test within that year, maybe within the month after graduation, and be working almost a full year before, as a nurse, almost a full year before you could have been considered an accountant. Also, entry level positions for nursing have trended higher than entry level, from what I've seen, have trended higher than entry level positions for accountants. Now, when we talk about, I guess, down the road, like down the road, the accountant salary tends to be higher than a nursing salary. Now, that's usually down the road, but if it takes somebody 5, 6 years, maybe, because every situation is going to be different. But if it takes somebody with an accounting degree 5 or 6 years, 7 years before they hit the $100,000 mark and start really going up, the nurses I've seen have hit it within a year of graduation or of starting work. One in particular case study was a friend of mine, and they got their nursing degree. First job was 85,000. Second job was 90 something thousand. Maybe the first job was 87,000, and the next, no, yeah, I think it was like 85 and then 97 plus overtime and shift diff, right? So the 97 ends up being the $97,000 salary, 6 months. Okay, so let me backtrack. So the first job when they graduated and got their nursing license and everything was 85,000. They were still getting shift diff and all that kind of stuff. But 6 months into their job, they got another job because they had 6 months of experience now. So the second job within the first year, within 6 months of of their first job, it was paying them 97,000, right? Plus, it had opportunity for overtime, shift diff, all that kind of stuff. So it pushed them into the six-figure realm within a 6-month time frame. Now, I think they had to go through training again and all that kind of stuff. So maybe it was 8 to 10 months after graduation. After their first job, they got to the 100K mark. And more than likely, for most accountants, that's not going to be your deal. You might start at the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 mark before and do a full year at each one of these different levels before you hit the $100,000 mark. Now, you might get a $10,000 raise every year or whatever, but now you still have a higher ceiling, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year that you can get to depending on what you're doing, where you're working, public, private, government, whatever. So it just depends on what you're doing. You can reach much higher levels as an accountant. And yes, you don't need a license to do taxes. Like, you don't have to have a particular certification. You'll need like what's it called, a P10, or like a tax ID number, a tax preparer number, or whatever. But you don't need a particular license in order to be just an accountant working and doing fund control points and overseeing certain functions. As a CFO, you don't have to have a certification unless that job says, no, I want my CFO to have this certification. More than likely, you don't have to have a CPA. Some situations you will, but more than likely not. And that's powerful when you can just graduate and go to work, right? And so with nursing, it's not like that. You can't just graduate and go straight to work. Now, imagine graduating and you're a terrible test taker or something. You don't pass the test. and it's very hard to pass it, for you and as a nurse. And the longer you're away from it, the harder you're gonna have to study. Like the longer you're out of school, the harder you're gonna have to study, right? And so some people go to nursing school and they never pass NCLEX, and that sucks, But if you focus, you buckle down, you do what you need to do, you study up, and you pass that test, you can do that and be making money like that, And if you make it to 100,000 in your first year or first 2 years, I guarantee you the average entry-level accountant is not making 100,000 within the first year of them, really out there. Maybe a couple years before they hit 100,000. Now, the ceiling may be higher, but it is still just depending on what that accountant is going to do, because, some accountants will never get to 150,000. Some won't. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and tell you like my perspective on it. And so yeah, there you have it. Anyway, that's the difference, nursing versus accounting. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, personality. What's your personality? That's a whole other situation. Like there are some people who say, I can't be an accountant because I don't like numbers. I don't like math like that. And I'll be the first to tell you, accounting is not math. It's not. It's the language of business. Accounting is the language of business. Okay? It is a business language. So if you're going to do business, you're going to need to know the accounting language. But it is not trigonometry. The most is like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. I know nurses who've had to take a higher level of math in college than I did because they got to figure out body mass indexes and all kind of stuff. Like I know some nurses who've taken trig and calc, okay? I didn't have to take that, all right? Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And before I go, I have one more thing to say because I can't get off of here without saying it. I do not want to touch people. That's why I did not become a nurse, okay? All right, that is the main reason. So it is going to be a personality thing. You don't like numbers. You don't want to be an accountant. You don't want to touch people. You don't want to be a nurse. All right, that is the main thing. Anyway, I'm out of here. Right now, you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we go. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now, you're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me and
her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap.
You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? There's money everywhere. There's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.